Start. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here Tuesday morning, third week of the new year. I promise I'll stop talking about how it's the week of the week pretty soon here. But I just want everyone to stay aware of the fact that, we're on the second day of the third week, the third solid week of January in 2016. Are you on your way to the goals that you have, to the life that you want? Are you on your way? Okay, let's answer that question this week. Let's not let this week go by without having that answered. Let's not start our New Year's resolutions in February. Okay, if you haven't done that yet, let's do it. Let's get it done. Let's make sure that we know what we're planning. Okay. All right. Today I want to talk about a simple tool. All right. So go ahead and grab a notebook and a pen. Think about what we talked about today and write down something that may help you to make your day better. Okay, these morning mindsets, let's talk a little bit about the purpose behind them. Number one, it's to help me personally as well as much as you. So I do this because I like to get my mind organized and get some good principles into the things that I'm doing for that day. Okay, but number two, it's to get you into a position where your mind is set for the day. Okay, perspective, posture, confidence, those things are so critical to get going early enough in your day that you can utilize that energy throughout the day. Okay, so write down a few things from what we talk about today and use them in your success between now and the time you're done working. Okay, by the time you're done work, I tell you, this is the truth. And I hear a lot of people say the same thing that are colleagues of mine. And that is very straightforward, that if you have a lot to do and you have things you want to accomplish, even if you don't do exactly what you say you will do for the day or accomplish exactly what you wanted to accomplish for the day, if you did your best, number one, you're as close as you can get in that period. Number two, you always end the day satisfied. Okay, and a big tool for being ready for the next day is finishing your day knowing that you did everything you could that day to be successful. So let's talk about this tool. Use the power of polarization. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? So if all of you will do a little bit of backward thinking for a minute into your past, you will most likely agree with me when I make certain statements here. Number one, if you want greatness, you must deal with failure. Okay, I'm sure all of you would agree with that. Okay, if you've ever tried to do anything amazing in your life or been around people that have done incredible things, they always talk about this position and this point in their life where things were very difficult and they dealt with failure. Okay, so if you want greatness, you must deal with failure. Failure is not necessarily negative. When you try to do something and you're not sure how to do it, you have to take action anyways. And as you take action, things become more clear. And then you make a small adjustment to the things that you're doing because you've learned more. And in that process, you had to fail. Okay, if everybody was successful simply by trying to take action to be successful, and that's all it took, man, we would have one incredible utopia here on planet Earth. Everybody would be successful. We'd be teaching our 6- and 7-year-olds how to run businesses, teaching them how to be millionaires by the time they're adults, right? But that's not how life works. Life works in a rhythm. Okay, but those that understand this, that know life works in a rhythm, can take a very different perspective on whether or not that rhythm is going to take precedence in their life and hurt them or help them. Okay, so again, if you want success, if you want to be successful and have things in your life that really count in your mind as things that you accomplished through effort, realize to get there, you have to engage in a rhythm, not in a straight line. Okay, so if you think about it, okay, for any of you that were like me when you were young and you had your yo-yos, remember the yo-yos? Okay, and you put it down, bring it up, put it down, bring it up, put it down, bring it up. Okay, that is a rhythm, okay, with your yo-yo that is pretty standardized and non-growing, right? So it's just up and down and up and down. So we all are in rhythm anyways, Okay? In other words, if we don't have much success, a lot of times we continuously deal with the failure of not having that success in a certain perspective, meaning it's hard. We know we should go after the things we want in life, and we have these insecurities that we experience by thinking about the things we want in success, but not going after them in the way we should, and then feeling that pressure from what would be considered the failure of not doing those things. So it's like that yo-yo, down and up, down and up. Okay, and it's a certain level. Okay, well, if any of you were like me as a kid, okay, I used to take that yo-yo and I'd start spinning it around. I'd start spinning. You guys, whirling. You guys ever make yourself dizzy as a kid? And I'd hold that yo-yo down and be down by my feet. And then I'd start picking my arms up until that yo-yo was completely straight out for me and spinning. Well, if you think about it like this, success is more like the yo-yo that you spin with, right? Because you're taking a different action. And it's closer to your body in a smaller circle. And by the time you get up to where it's even with your arm, it's really this big circle that you've made. Okay? So if we compare that idea to the yo-yo going up and down, it's like standing on a cliff. And putting that yo-yo down, it goes as far as your feet. Then it goes as far as 5 feet down that cliff. Then 10 feet. Then 12. Then 15. Then 20. Well, if it goes down 20 feet, it has to come back 20 feet. That's rhythm. Even our atomic structure is rhythmically vibrating. Okay, so if you put that yo-yo down that cliff and it goes 20 feet down, you see it go, 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 you're like, yeah, then it comes all the way back up into your hand. The more you want out of life, the more you have to posture yourself to handle in going after those things. In other words, again, thinking into your past, for any of you that have ever done anything successful, you felt like you've come to a new level of understanding. This could be spiritually, in business, with family, with your studies, with college. It could be anything that you took on. Okay? Think about the moments before you engaged it and then the moments after. During that time that you engaged such things, your struggle became more evident. Okay, your failures became more frequent. Let me say that again. Your failures became more frequent. And it's something I hear a lot of times from gentlemen that are older than me. And I'm not too sure where this originated from. But decide to fail quickly. Okay? Because failure and success are not separated. They are two sides of the same polarity. When you understand that, there is a tremendous power that comes to your ability to grow. When you know that failure and success are simply two sides of the same coin, and there's no way to separate that, ever. You cannot stand outside of natural laws. They exist. When you understand that, you can utilize and perpetuate that rule to your advantage. How? By using the power of polarization. So let's talk about what that is. You want to get into the habit of neutralizing negative thoughts. Okay? If you are in a position where you're going, and you're just excited, and you're calling people, and you hold meetings, and you're and maybe 5 or 6 people buy from you this week, and you're just going, and you're feeling good, and you're vibrant, you're bright. That is like throwing that yo-yo down 20 feet past that cliff because you're going. Okay, you're pushing the distance. Well, it's going to come back. And for many of you, sometimes it's a big mystery. Why do you suddenly feel kind of down or negative, even depressed after you went so hard and tried so much? And why did your insecurities come back? And even not only did they come back, but maybe they're a little bit stronger. You know, why? Why is that? Well, we sit there and wonder. And then sometimes we get caught up in wondering. And then we start convincing ourselves of the wrong ideas. We start caging. All right? We start caging ourselves instead of letting ourselves free. Why? Because it's the opposite pole. You know, that yo-yo comes right back up into your hand. It's natural law. Okay? Action is followed by non-action. It just is the way life works. Why does it work exactly that way? Well, I would say it's an amazing thing that it does, and that we shouldn't fight against it. We should utilize it. So when you know that yo-yo's coming back and you feel it, because you will feel it, neutralize it. You can let it swing beneath you. So if it was like a pendulum, right, in this rhythm, and it's swinging forward into this philosophy of success, and it starts to swing back, you can neutralize that, knowing, ready for this? Knowing that it's going to reach a peak and it's going to swing right back into positive, successful, beautiful, incredible, amazing activity. All you need to do is remember that when you start to feel those energies, when you start to feel that negativity, right? If you get excited about doing something, right? And you're like, I can do it. And you know, our minds are so awesome, because when we believe we can do something, it starts creating all of these solutions in our mind about how we can do things. I mean, like a minute ago, we may not have saw all the different ways that we could execute, but when we're feeling positive and open, our neurology just reacts to that. And it's like, well, here's 10, 15, 20, 30 ways you could actually act on that right now successfully. And then when it swings back, it says things like, well, you know, you tried that, didn't work. Well, maybe you don't know what you're doing, right? Maybe it's easier to just go back to watch your TV show that you usually watch instead of working on your business at 6 o'clock at night. You know, maybe that's going to be more effective for you. You know, whatever that backswing is, it's a backswing towards inertia. Okay, for those of you that know what inertia is, gravity creates inertia. Okay, in other words, it draws you back within. Okay, once you've pushed yourself out and have gone and had a successful, amazing experience, you're going to draw yourself within. And when you do that, if you neutralize, if any of you are into meditation, for example, or deep prayer if you're religious, that withdrawing is an opportunity, if you look at it the right way, to be still, to be silent, and to allow that negativity to pass beneath you and not within you. You can stay neutral about that backswing and utilize that force when it starts to come to be still. Remember, we go from action to inaction, right? And to recognize when that backswing's coming, because it comes in small ways all day long. It comes after 4 or 5 days of strong activity. Sometimes it comes after a strong month. Everyone's joining my business. Everyone's engaging me. Everyone's loving this business. People are buying from me. 2 weeks later, everybody quit. Remember that? Remember that moment in time? Everybody left. And this person complained like crazy. And oh my gosh. That backswing comes. What you do is you neutralize that. As you see everybody else getting caught in that pendulum and holding on to it as they get swung all the way back into that negative swing, breaking them up, caging them up, making them go other directions and sporadic and chaotic, don't be that. Neutralize that backswing. Remember, it's a natural rhythm in life. Okay? It's going to come right back in, and things are going to go the way they should. They're going to feel incredible, amazing. The potential is going to be there, and this is in your business, in your personal relationships, in your relationships to your children, in your relationships to yourself, in your relationships to the nutritional path that you're on, in your relationship to life. Because we swing from the time we're born all the way up to our peak physically even, and then we swing back and we all die. You can't escape this natural rhythm. But if you understand it, you can do something with it. Everything in life is in rhythm. Use this absolute truth to manage your future success. Because let me tell you something powerful. That backswing is usually equal to the foreswing. And if you'll notice, so many very successful people, Les Brown's stories are some of my favorite. Tony Robbins talks about living on people's couches. I actually know a gentleman whose couch Tony Robbins used to sleep on, so I know he's telling the truth, which is just the weirdest thing. I met this guy, right? But the reality is that most of the time, the negative backswing comes first. And when I say the negative backswing, I mean the larger one, because like I said, there's smaller ones daily, weekly. There's ones per relationship, per experience. The rhythm is everywhere. But there is this gigantic swing usually in the bigger things that we're trying to do with our lives. Okay, because like I told you, when you fail, you learn. So learn to fail quickly so that you can learn quickly. Because if you knew how to do things perfectly, there would be no reason for you to have to even study, research, and fail in the first place, right? But failure is the refiner's fire. I talk in one of my other mindsets about this idea of realizing that the suffering that you go through is fashioning you, and is very similar to working out, where, you know, when you're working out, man, that's tough. But when you're done, you feel stronger. Your physique looks better. Your body's healthier because you put yourself through that struggle. Everything in life is in rhythm. Use this absolute truth to manage your future success. It's never going to be a straight line, folks. Okay, if you get into something, know that the laws are the same in every perspective, meaning you have to hold your ground and neutralize these things. When the swing comes backwards, be peaceful. Wait for it to swing back, and when it does, go hard. Okay? Get it going hard. And as you stay in neutral and things start to bother you, like your insecurities, your lack of confidence, right? The idea that you tried something that didn't work, just let it leave you. Let it leave your mind. Because the only time any of those things ever matter is from the perspective of making small adjustments. So look at them for what they are. Make small adjustments, and when that swing comes back, after you've made those small adjustments, after you've fashioned yourself more, after you've suffered more to become more, go again. Just like that swing of that yo-yo that's just around your legs in this small circle. Get it up to that larger circle. Okay, don't be scared. Let it go the 20 feet down the cliff. Let that backswing be hard if it is. Just neutralize it. Okay, so do something with this for your mindset today. You know, if something happens today that seems to take you on that backswing, neutralize it and prepare and poise yourself for it to go the other direction. Because one thing that's guaranteed is this swing is real. Okay, this is nature. This is a natural law. Okay, if you use this natural law to your advantage, and there is my calendar, of course, for all of you that know me. This is the funnest part of the mindset because I never turn off my calendar. But for those of you that are extremely familiar with the way things go because you've had successes or you've been suffering, look at it more as something that happens that's natural, inescapable, and neutralize yourself and empower yourself for when that swing comes the other direction. Thank you so much for joining me. Looking very much forward to speaking with you guys again tomorrow, which of course I will be here at the same time. Have an incredible day.